read.
Politicians are starting to listen. Today, Senator Tom Harkin from Iowa has joined forces with Susan Lin at a press conference in Washington.
We need corporate restraint and corporate responsibility, and we need it now, not 10 years from now.
What's motivating Senator Harkin is an explosion of snack food marketed to kids, one of the top items they nag for.
Remember this guy? That's Joe Camel. Look familiar? Now you got Shrek over here, hooking kids on bad food, junk food. Food that will cause diabetes at an earlier age, food that will cause obesity, foods that will harm them and make them unhealthy.
After 30 years of an industry left to regulate itself, Harkin believes it's time for the government to step in.
Look around you. What have they done? 30 years, and this is what we got to show for industry self-regulation. And that's why today I am announcing legislation to give the Federal Trade Commission greater authority to regulate unfair marketing directed at children.
My colleagues and I are not naive about the political situation or at the enormity of the task ahead. But, you know, social change does happen, and it only happens when people stand up and say, this is wrong.
One steep hill ahead. The wheels at this carnival are spinning faster than ever before. Corporations now spend $50 billion a year globally selling stuff to kids. And now it's so much more than kids' stuff.
Because when you go on holiday, you get your own way. I would prefer having a flip phone than just a regular phone. You want to go to a spa, you go to a spa. And I would want an unlimited amount of clothing.
Welcome to Zone Below, a nightclub in New York for kids under 13.
Zone Below, go in.
Bye-bye, Barbie. Hello, Destiny's Child. This is the new kids' Fantasyland.
It feels like a grown-up world. We try and set it up as a club format, as you would in any major city, where you come in through the back door. There's a VIP or an invitation that's required to get in. With the lights, you know, we serve beverages. Parents aren't allowed, which I think is really important.
It's the flavor we savor.
Tonight, the big draw is a dance competition for an iPod.
This is something that makes us like
all our friends come down. We just like to dance, so we come here every Friday and we just dance.
There are more kids under the age of 12 than any other generation in 50 years. 57 million in North America alone. And what's more significant, their unprecedented influence over their parents' money.
First award winners going to Dana and Aubrey. Congratulations.
Kids now influence $700 billion of spending a year.
That's going to be approaching $1 trillion before too long. It's been growing at about 20% a year. And that's why kids are at the epicenter of consumer culture.
Kids direct 62% of all purchases in the house. Everything from cameras to cars to furniture. Parents listen to them, and so do corporations who know if you're going to get anyone on board, you better start with the kids.
You can probably tell it's got great pickup.
Let's pick up my friends.
Well...
Kids Rule is the message of Toyota Sienna's minivan campaign.
We have to get Bob.
Who's Bob?
Come on, Bob. Come on. My blood sugar's low. No, I didn't. Do you have any money? That's my nugget.
These days, parents buy what kids are sold on.
Let's test the red one now.
It has everything kids want and everything you need. Sienna, now that's moving you forward.
It's because they're empowered in the households. It's because they are increasingly knowledgeable, informed, and eager consumers.
And no one knows this more than the kids' travel business. Now a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Hey, man. We go, man. It's all good.
This is Beaches, an all-inclusive kids resort in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Catering to kids is their specialty.
We guys go to
A smoothie? Smoothie?
Kids want what adults want. And what they want is more than the trip to Disneyland.
Strawberry daiquiri. Curry pepper.
In the last 5 years, there has been an explosion of resorts and hotels, all vying for kids' attention. It's no wonder. 4 out of every 5 holidays is now decided by kids. And what they are looking for is more than a stretch of sand.
30 years ago, used to be happy with a pail and shovel on the beach, and to them that was woohoo, that was exciting. Nowadays, they want to go somewhere where they are going to be entertained, where they are going to have a good time. And it all depends on what accompaniments do you offer to the children that's going to help to entice them to come in.
Hi, babies. How are you? You guys are here to do your mini facials and massages. But Latoya will be taking care of you, all right?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Simone.
Okay.
Spa services for kids have become one of the fastest growing trends in the family travel business.
So, how do you like it here in Jamaica? Good.
An extra offering to help attract the young traveler.
I'm going to paint a perfect picture, a world of make-believe. No more hunger, war and suffering, the world I'd like to see. Are we going to have cucumber in our eyes? Yeah, that's great. Should we do this up for you?
What's happening is that you have, in a fairly short period of time, many new companies coming to recognize that there's gold in them, our hills, as they say.
If you're going to compete for gold, you have to keep up with the kids' fantasies. And no one knows this better than Alloy.
Thank you guys so much for coming in for agreeing to do this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're welcome.
Alloy is a youth marketing company based in Boston, whose specialty is the tween, kids aged 8 to 12.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to consider to be your mission. You guys need to accomplish this mission in the next few days. So let me give each of you one of these.
These are the faces of the new corporate consultants.
The purpose of the photo journal exercise is to enable tweens to give us a sneak peek into their world. So it's kind of like show and tell, where we give them a camera and ask them to take pictures of specific items that we might not be able to see if we were just bringing them in for a discussion, or even if we were going to their homes for a discussion.
Alloy's client list includes some of the top Fortune 500 companies, like Johnson & Johnson, Verizon, Procter & Gamble, and Hewlett-Packard. Many of them now want to find new ways of tapping into the tween. Alloy's 2 consultants have just returned from their mission, taking pictures of stuff they dreamed could be made just for them.
Okay. So thank you guys for coming in again. I'm so curious to see what you came up with your journals.
Alicia Kolsky's job is to interpret these dreams and spin new product ideas.
I think that if you have your own house, you could have a party with a few of your friends. You eat whatever you want, watch TV, maybe for a weekend, go off to your weekend house.
Why do they want their own house? Well, they want their own house to have more privacy. So if you are a manufacturer of furniture for the home, let's say for children's bedrooms, maybe you would create furniture that has more privacy features, or furniture that has more kind of secret or hidden panels so that kids feel like they have their own space that people don't know about. So what would you have to do to a stove to make it for people your age?
Well, I think you would kind of have to shrink it. Whenever I want to cook pasta or mac and cheese, I always have to stand on a chair and for getting like burnt or seeing actually the process of the cooking.
It'd be interesting to see what companies can do, even to let kids just look to see what's cooking. So do you have a video camera that projects a screen on the front of the stove so that way tweens can watch items cook on the stove top from their eye level instead of having to stand on a stool? So why do you wish you could have a car?
Well, I wish a car was made for people my age so I can like drive around and like you could go around like shopping with your friends or if you want to go out for ice cream.
Think about a client's needs that might spin into a certain promotion. So maybe it's creating a fantasy getaway where tweens decide, what their perfect day is, or they have a rule-less or limitless day where they can call the shots and have a chauffeur take them wherever it is that they want to go.
Corporations are now spending an unparalleled amount of time and money researching kids' dreams.
Restraint and corporate responsibility, and we need it now, not 10 years from now.
What's motivating Senator Harkin is an explosion of snack food marketed to kids, one of the top items they nag for. Politicians are starting to listen. Today, Senator Tom Harkin from Iowa has joined forces with Susan Lin at a press conference in Washington.
We need corporate diabetes at an earlier age, food that will cause obesity, foods that will harm them and make them unhealthy.
After 30 years of an industry left to regulate itself, Harkin believes it's time for the government to step in.
Look around you. What have they done? 30 years, and this is what we got to show for industry self-regulation. And that's why today I am announcing legislation. Remember this guy? That's Joe Camel. Look familiar? Now you got Shrek over here, hooking kids on bad food, junk food, food that will cause